Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something most people are too afraid to say out loud. Some women are living miracles. Not because they never went through struggles, not because they've got life all figured out, but because something far greater walks with them. Have you ever wondered how she survived what should have destroyed her? Why she still smiles after betrayal, loss, or deep pain? That's not just her being strong, that's divine protection. This isn't your typical speech. This is for the women who've been overlooked, misjudged, and counted out, and yet they're still standing. By the end of this message, you'll know if you are one of them. And once you know, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. So stay with me. Let's talk about 10 signs a woman is divinely protected by something beyond what we can see. Let's begin with something many people miss: peace. I don't mean silence. I don't mean a moment without noise. I'm talking about that steady, unshakable peace. The kind that stays even when everything around her is falling apart. That kind of peace lives in a divinely protected woman. A woman like that doesn't wait for the chaos to stop before she finds calm. She is the calm. She doesn't collapse just because life throws weight on her shoulders. Pressure doesn't scare her. Disappointment doesn't destroy her. Heartbreak doesn't harden her. And pain doesn't write her story. Her peace wasn't built in comfort. It was shaped in the fire. It was tested through betrayal, through grief, through silent nights when she held in tears no one saw, but still something greater protected her mind. Something unseen whispered, "Be still." It's not that life didn't test her. It's that she never walked through those tests alone. While others drowned in worry, she found peace. While others screamed to be noticed, she rested in quiet confidence. While others searched for outside approval, she followed her inner guide. Have you ever seen a woman enter a room and shift the atmosphere without even speaking? That's peace. That's power. That's protection. People notice it, and many don't even know what they're noticing. They'll say, "There's something about her." They'll wonder why nothing rattles her, why her spirit stands still in the middle of life's storms. And some people will be drawn to her, while others will be threatened by it. True peace makes people uneasy. When your spirit is grounded, it shows others how unstable they are. Your calm reflects their chaos. Your stillness makes their noise louder. And some people will try to disturb your peace just so they can feel better about their own restlessness. But a woman who's divinely protected doesn't react with noise. She doesn't fight every battle. Let me tell you, this kind of peace is spiritual. You won't learn it from books. You won't get it from cute quotes. You can't fake it for followers. This is something built deep in your spirit through real life trials, through those lonely moments when no one clapped for you, through the heartbreaks you healed from in secret, through all the times you had every reason to fall apart, but chose not to. It's that peace that kept you quiet when they disrespected you. It's that peace that stopped you from explaining yourself to people who never wanted to understand you anyway. It's that peace that gave you the strength to walk away when your heart still cared. It's that voice that reminds you you're not alone. This is the kind of peace that goes beyond understanding. It doesn't always make sense to people, but it makes perfect sense to your soul, because your spirit knows what's around you isn't just luck or coincidence. It's protection. It's the divine saying, "I've got you. Keep going." Here's the real truth. Peace like that doesn't mean she never cries. It doesn't mean she doesn't feel fear. It doesn't mean doubt never visits her. But it does mean those emotions don't control her. She feels them, but they don't guide her. She acknowledges them, but they don't lead her actions. Peace isn't the absence of emotion. It's knowing how to handle it. It's trusting that everything is working together, even when it looks like chaos. That trust births calm. Calm gives way to clarity. And in that clarity, she makes her sharpest choices. That's when she decides who stays and who leaves, what deserves her time and what doesn't deserve even a reaction. That's why some people get irritated with her, because she won't give them the drama they want. She won't argue, won't shout, won't defend herself, not because she's weak, but because she's different, she's covered. And let me say this, it takes real strength to stay soft in a world that benefits from your pain. It takes real courage to keep peace when you have every reason to fight. But a woman who's divinely protected doesn't waste her strength on things beneath her purpose. She's not out here chasing validation. She's not proving her value. She's not begging for love. Her peace tells her what's truly hers will never need force. That voice you hear, that's the divine. That's presence. That's angels whispering wisdom while the world yells confusion. If you're that woman, or if you're becoming her, know this. You'll puzzle people, you'll outgrow certain friendships, some will call you cold, distant, or mysterious, but remember, your peace is not their puzzle. It's your power. And a woman with peace, she's untouchable, not because life won't try to touch her, but because she's shielded by something holy. And that's the first sign. She carries peace the world didn't give and can't take away. You ever notice how some women just know? Before the lie, before the betrayal, before the mistake, they already felt it. They read the room before a word is said. They catch energy like it's a second language. That's not paranoia, that's not guessing, that's discernment. That's divine protection taking form as spiritual awareness. A divinely protected woman doesn't walk blind. She doesn't move through life only believing what her eyes show. Her intuition is sharper than most people's facts. She notices tone changes. She feels the tension behind fake smiles. She hears the silence between the words. She observes, she deciphers. Let me tell you something few are brave enough to admit. When you're spiritually covered, you're spiritually aware. That means you walk into a room and instantly sense if something's off. You don't need proof. You don't need someone else to agree. You just know. And that knowing, it saved her more than once. She avoided toxic relationships because she sensed the manipulation behind the charm. She turned down that tempting opportunity because it didn't feel right. She let go of friendships where the loyalty felt shaky. And while others questioned her choices, she never needed their approval. Her protection didn't come from people, it came from revelation. That's how divine protection works. You may not get every detail, but you get direction. And if you're smart, you follow it. The world calls it a gut feeling, but this is deeper. This is spiritual radar. This is divine warning. This is a soft whisper in the soul that says, not here, not this, walk away. And when she listens, she doesn't avoid life, she avoids destruction. Let me make it plain. Discernment doesn't mean you judge people. It doesn't mean you think you're better. It means your spirit got wiser. You've seen too much. You've lived through enough. Now, you don't just see people, you see through them. You can feel what their words try to hide. You can sense the gap between their kindness and their intention. But that's not luck, that's not accident, that's discernment. It's how divine protection speaks before pain shows up. And here's the powerful thing. A divinely protected woman doesn't need to cause a scene. She doesn't need to confront anyone. She doesn't even need to speak on it. She just steps away, quietly, calmly, confidently, not because she's afraid, but because she knows. And that knowing, that's sacred. Not everyone deserves to walk with her. Not every hand that reaches for her is sent to bless her. And she's learned that, sometimes the hard way. She's trusted wrong people. She's ignored her gut before. She paid the price. But now she listens. Now she trusts that nudge. She doesn't wait for a red flag to turn into an explosion. She exits at the first sign of spiritual discomfort. Because that's what divine protection does. It warns early. It nudges before the damage hits. It whispers before the storm comes. And a divinely protected woman, she hears it. And more importantly, she follows it. Sometimes discernment just feels like unease. You can't explain it, but something doesn't sit right. That's not you being dramatic. That's your spirit trying to guard you. Most people ignore that feeling. They try to be polite. They give second and third chances. But not her. She doesn't fear walking away from what doesn't feel peaceful. She says no without writing an essay. She's not suspicious. She's spiritually aware. She's not cold. She's covered. Because of this, her circle may be smaller. Her path may be quieter. But her life, it's safer. Not because trouble never knocks, but because she doesn't invite it in by ignoring the signs. And don't get it twisted, this gift of discernment wasn't free. It was carved out of betrayal. It was shaped by heartache. It was refined in sleepless nights where she whispered, "Why didn't I listen?" But now, she does listen. The first time. She doesn't need outside confirmation. Her protection gives her insight. Her insight gives her clarity. And that makes her powerful. And unfolds, she senses people without needing to ask too many questions. And while the world is still caught in surprise, she's already one step ahead. Not because she thinks she's better, but because her spirit is awake. That's the second sign of divine protection. She carries discernment that goes beyond logic, and when she follows it, nothing catches her by surprise. There's something truly powerful about a woman who walks through chaos and still shines with peace. It's not because life is smooth for her. It's not because she's never faced hardship. No, it's because there's something steady inside her. Her peace doesn't depend on conditions. It's built on a foundation the world didn't create and therefore can't destroy. That's a woman who walks under divine protection. That's a woman who's learned how to stay still in the middle of a storm. A protected woman doesn't always respond with noise. She doesn't need to shout to prove her strength. Her silence says enough. Her calmness throws off those who try to shake her. While others are running around, while the world gets louder, she becomes more still. Not because she's powerless, but because she understands something most don't. She understands that divine protection doesn't always arrive as a miracle. Sometimes it comes as a quiet calm, and that calm, that deep stillness, it's not natural. It's not something she was simply born with. It's something she developed. She earned it. She bled for it. She prayed for it. She guarded it. Because once you've been through enough storms, you stop reacting to every dark sky. You stop getting lost in what's out of your control. That's when peace starts becoming part of your bone. There was a time when every disruption broke her. Every betrayal left her torn. Every delay made her question her value. But that time has passed. Now she knows that not all storms come to destroy. Some show you who you really are. Now she sees that peace isn't about having a life without problems. It's about having power. Power to stand strong when everything around you shakes. This peace isn't about pretending. It's not fake smiles. It's not ignoring pain. It's understanding that even when things fall apart, she's still being guided. Even when people disappear, she's still protected. Even when the world moves beneath her, her spirit can stay firm. That's what divine protection truly means. It's not always seen in outside events. It shows in what doesn't happen inside. Have you ever met a woman who's walked through fire and still smiles like she's seen heaven? That's not just fortune, that's alignment. That's a woman who knows how to anchor herself when the world is drifting. She doesn't pretend to be strong. She is strength. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady, just present. She doesn't allow other people's storms to become her own. She doesn't let someone else's chaos take over her inner peace. She can sit in a loud room and still protect her stillness. That's not emotional detachment. That's wisdom. Because she has learned that not every battle deserves her time. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every setback deserves her breakdown. A woman like that is quietly powerful. You can't pressure her into panic. You can't drag her into drama. You can't rob her joy with a passing storm. She knows how to breathe when the world forgets how. She knows how to pause when others are rushing. She protects her energy like it's sacred. Peace becomes her superpower. And here's what many don't realize. That peace didn't come from ease. It came from unshakable faith, a belief that she's never alone, a trust that even in darkness, she's being held, a strength that quietly says, this too shall pass, even when the pain yells otherwise. She doesn't need to control everything because she trusts the unseen. That's what gives her quiet confidence. She doesn't force, she doesn't plead, she doesn't chase. She flows, she aligns, she waits. Because she knows what's for her won't pass her by. And what passes her by wasn't ever meant to stay. So while others exhaust themselves trying to fix and manage and control, she rests, not out of laziness, but out of clarity. She's learned how to let go. She's discovered the power in release. And that's how she keeps at peace. Her peace is her evidence. Evidence that she's not just surviving, she's covered. Evidence that she's not just lucky, she's being led. Evidence that she's not just strong, she's protected. You can feel it in how she moves, in how she handles pressure, in how she walks away from chaos without regret. This kind of woman makes others uneasy, not because she's rude, but because she's unmoved. She doesn't flinch when tested. She doesn't fall apart when plans fall through. She's realized that true peace isn't fragile, it's fierce. And once you've tasted that level of stillness, you stop accepting anything that threatens it. That's why her boundaries are firm. That's why her circle is close. That's why her presence feels calm. She guards her peace like a priceless treasure, because for her it is. And anyone who brings disruption instead of direction, noise instead of clarity, confusion instead of comfort, doesn't get close to her. Because when a woman is divinely protected, her peace becomes sacred. It's not negotiable. It's not for sale. It's not temporary. It becomes her way of life. It shapes her steps, her choices, her love, her being. She knows the real strength isn't in shouting your success, It's in being quietly confident. It's being so rooted in peace that no wind can shake you. And that's the third sign of divine protection. Her peace is stronger than the storm. There's something deeply spiritual about a woman who always seems one step ahead of disaster. Just when it looks like she's about to fall, something shifts. Just when they think they've caught her, she walks away untouched. Just when it seems she should break, she rises. It's not random, that's divine covering. She may not always know the details of what's happening behind the scenes, but somehow her steps fall into place. Her timing isn't like everyone else's. Her path isn't always the smoothest, but it always leads to where she needs to be. That's not accident. That's orchestration from a higher power. When a woman is covered, her path becomes guided. Her delays are not rejections, they're redirections. She doesn't need to kick down doors, they open when the moment is right. She doesn't have to beg people to stay. When people walk away, it's clearing space for better. When life falls apart, she doesn't panic. She listens. Because her inner voice, that quiet tug, has been right too many times to ignore. She doesn't rely only on what she sees, she trusts what she senses. There were moments when she couldn't explain why she needed to let go. She couldn't offer proof for walking away. But something in her whispered, "This isn't right." Something nudged her, "You're not supposed to stay here." And every time she obeyed that nudge, even when it broke her heart, she ended up in a better place. That's divine protection. That's being saved before harm could reach her. Others may not get it. They say she's too picky, too quiet, too distant, but she knows what it is. She's not avoiding life, she's being led through it. She doesn't move like the rest because she's not being guided like the rest. She knows that not every shining thing is for her, not every opportunity is divine, not every intense connection is meant to last. And that wisdom doesn't come from theory, it comes from scars. She knows what happens when she silences her gut. She's learned the cost of ignoring red flags. She's felt the damage of staying too long. So now she listens. She listens when the energy shifts. She listens when her spirit grows uneasy. She listens when the room feels wrong. Because she knows that divine protection doesn't always come with thunder. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it pulls you gently before you fall. And when that moment comes, she doesn't argue. She doesn't reason herself into staying where her peace is dying. She trusts the pull, even if the purpose isn't yet clear. That's what sets her apart. She doesn't need all the facts to believe. She trusts what her soul knows. And if it doesn't feel aligned, it's not part of her journey. What's powerful is she doesn't compete, she doesn't beg, she doesn't chase. She trusts that what's meant for her is being aligned. Even when nothing seems to be happening, even in stillness, movement is taking place on her behalf. People might not understand why she walks away from shiny offers. They may question why she turns down easy wins. But she's not chasing the flashy. She's waiting for the faithful. She doesn't want what just looks good. She's after what is good for her soul, her purpose, her peace. She knows divine timing is better than perfect timing. There's a calm inside her that can't be explained. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about knowing that even pain won't destroy her. Even if she loses something, she won't be left empty. Every ending, every delay, every no is shaping her direction. That's why she's not afraid to be alone. She's not scared to start again. She's not nervous to leave behind what no longer serves her. Because she walks with purpose. When a woman is divinely protected, closed doors are gifts in disguise. She knows that rejection isn't always loss, it's safety. She doesn't take every goodbye as failure. She knows some goodbyes are silent answers to prayers she never knew how to speak. She's not waiting for proof, she is the proof. From people, she already has clarity from within. She doesn't need a crowd to approve her direction. She doesn't need applause to feel recognized. Her path is sacred, her route is tailor-made. And while others are taking shortcuts, she's walking the road that develops endurance, insight, and faith. Because she understands that when you're divinely protected, your steps are not accidents. Your pauses are not failures. Your detours are not delay. Everything is working together, even the parts that don't make sense. And that kind of understanding, that kind of trust, that deep and steady faith, that's the fourth sign of a woman who is divinely protected. Her path may not always feel easy, but it's divinely guided. Her timing might not match the world's, but it's right on schedule. Her story may not make sense to others, but it's unfolding exactly the way it should. She is led, she is guarded, she is exactly where she needs to be, even if it doesn't look like it on the outside. And that's not just hope. That's not wishful thinking. That's truth. Because when a woman is divinely protected, her journey becomes proof. There's something unshakable about a woman who carries calm in her soul, even when everything around her is falling apart. She doesn't panic like others. She doesn't scream or beg the world to quiet down just so she can find peace. No, she brings her own peace into the storm. That kind of peace isn't found in a book. That kind of calm is a sign of divine covering. When a woman is divinely protected, her presence speaks before her words do. She doesn't need to shout her strength. It's seen in her stillness. She doesn't have to explain her confidence. It's in how she doesn't flinch when life tries to shake her. She's not prideful. She's not distant. She simply knows. She knows that the one who walks with divine backing doesn't have to fear the unknown. And that peace in her eyes, that calm you notice, that's not pretend. That's not performance. That's the evidence of who walks beside her. She's the kind of woman who has endured storms that should have broken her. Life has tested her many times. She's been betrayed, lied to, left standing in the ruins of relationships, careers, dreams, and plans. But she didn't remain broken. She got back up, not because she was lucky, but because peace held her when pain tried to pull her apart. And that peace didn't come from people. It came from something greater. This woman doesn't respond to every attack. She doesn't explain herself to every lie. She doesn't chase those who walk away. She doesn't try to prove her worth to those who can't see it. Why? Because peace has taught her that silence can be stronger than shouting. Her quiet is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the understanding that not everything deserves her attention. Not every battle is hers to fight. She's learned to guard her peace like it's treasure. Because it is. She knows how much it cost her. It cost her nights without sleep. It cost her walking away from drama. It cost her the pain of letting go of people she once held dear. It cost her deep reflection, healing old wounds, breaking cycles, and shifting her mindset. Peace wasn't handed to her. It was earned through hardship, tears, and faith. When a woman is divinely protected, the chaos around her doesn't disturb the calm within her. That's why she seems so steady. That's why she doesn't need to shout to be understood. Her peace speaks for her. Her calm makes people pay attention. Her spirit stands out. People are drawn to her, and they don't even know why. It's not her clothes. It's not her title. It's the way her presence makes others feel secure, seen, and settled. She walks into a room and doesn't need to make noise. There's just something about her that quiets the space. So driven by outer noise, she's grounded, she's focused, and she's led by inner calm. And that unsettles those who live in constant noise because they can't figure her out. She's led by inner calm. She's also mastered the art of letting go. Not every ending is a failure. Not every goodbye is painful. She's at peace with release. She doesn't carry grudges. She doesn't wish harm on anyone. She forgives, not because they earned it, but because she won't carry the heaviness of hate. Her peace matters more than payback. Her future matters more than her ego. And don't be mistaken, just because she's peaceful doesn't mean she's passive. Her boundaries are firm. She doesn't allow just anyone to have access to her energy. She's not scared to say no. She's not afraid to walk alone. She's not afraid to choose quiet over confusion. That's her strength. She doesn't fear being misunderstood if it means protecting her soul. There's a kind of confidence in a woman like that you can't copy. It's not loud, it's not showy, but it's real. It's rooted. It comes from being held, from being watched over, from being divinely led. And when you live like that, when you walk with that level of assurance, your peace becomes your power. It becomes your shield. It becomes your voice. It says, I'm not shaken by your chaos because I'm anchored in something deeper than your opinion. That kind of woman becomes a mirror. Her peace reflects other people's storms. Her boundaries reveal their need for control. Her smile during uncertain times makes others wonder how she's still standing. And the answer is always the same: peace. Not fake comfort, not forced joy, but real, deep, divine peace. The kind that doesn't come from having everything perfect, but from trusting even when the journey isn't clear. When a woman is divinely protected, peace becomes her atmosphere. It surrounds her, it shelters her, it shields her from the things that would break others. And because of that, she doesn't have to chase anyone. She doesn't have to prove anything. She doesn't fear what's ahead. She's steady, she's quiet, she's powerful. And people feel it. She doesn't need to control the outside world, just her reaction to it. That's where her strength lies. She's not just getting by. She's growing, flourishing, becoming, because she's discovered something greater than applause, greater than control, greater than noise. She's discovered peace. And once a woman finds that kind of peace, she'll never again accept anything that puts it in danger. That's the fifth sign. That's the transformation. That's the glow. And you can't fake it. You can't borrow it. You can't steal it. It's hers. Because she's covered. And nothing can take that away. There's a different kind of woman out there. One who walks like the world owes her nothing, yet she carries herself like she's protected by something eternal. There's a different kind of woman out there. One who walks like the world owes her nothing, yet she carries herself like she's protected by something eternal. She doesn't need to yell to be heard. Her life speaks for her. Her strength, her healing, her transformation. They speak louder than anything else. That's the kind of woman who is divinely guarded. And one of the clearest signs of that divine protection? Her glow. Not the kind you get from a store. Not the kind that fades with trends. This glow is holy, it's quiet, yet it lights up a room. It's soft, yet it stands firm. It's gentle, but it's tougher than iron. It's not just about who she was, it's about who she's becoming. It's a signal that she's aligned with something far greater than herself. Her glow isn't about beauty or fashion. It's about her energy, her peace, her joy that doesn't depend on circumstances, her calm in chaos. When she talks, people listen. Not because she's loud, but because her words carry truth. Her quiet holds wisdom. Her presence holds power. This woman didn't always shine like this. She earned that glow in the dark. She made it through nights of tears, days where her smile was fake, moments where no one clapped, no one encouraged her. But she kept going. She kept healing. She kept choosing growth over staying stuck, forgiveness over anger, and belief over fear. And that glow, it's not pride, it's not ego. It's the light of a woman who battled herself and came out whole. It's the proof of healing, the mark of transformation, the evidence of spiritual strength. She's not flawless, but she's free. Free from who she used to be. Free from needing approval. Free from past pain. She's not living for likes. She's not shaken by rejection. She knows who she is. And more importantly, she knows who walks with her. And that kind of woman scares the darkness. She doesn't bring drama. She brings light. She brings healing. She brings direction. She brings truth. And people notice. They can't always explain it, but they feel it. Some admire it. Some envy it. Some try to copy it, but none of them can replicate it because it's not just on her, it's in her. It's spiritual. It's divine. And only time, tears, and truth can produce it. She glows now. Not because nothing went wrong, but because she finally accepted that everything that left made room for something better. She's no longer angry, no longer stuck, no longer shrinking herself to fit into small places. She's not mad about who left. She's grateful because she knows now that protection sometimes looks like pain, but pain always leads to peace when you're guided. She wears that peace like armor. She walks in it, she speaks from it, she loves through it. You can see it in her eyes, in her smile, and how she no longer forces things. What belongs to her flows her way. What doesn't gently leaves. She doesn't chase, she attracts, not because she's trying to, but because her alignment pulls everything meant for her closer. That glow is the proof. Proof she's been guided, proof she's been held, proof she's been made new. It's the quiet announcement that she's not available for anything that disturbs her calm. She's not just surviving, she's aligned.